And she said, oh, then you know that when you work with a child, there is a soul there. And that's what makes this program so crucial and so important, is that when you work with the children, you recognize that there's a soul there. So they're not just coming to work with the paints and have new friends, but they're coming so you can plant seeds in their heart. The highest compliment someone can give you is to leave his or her child with you. They're giving you his or her heart when they bring that child to you. In your classroom, try to set it up so that each area communicates what goes on in that area, and that the child will be able to do most of the things you might want to do in that area. I call it creating a yes environment, where the way you've set it up channels desirable activity. That way it works for you and doesn't work against you. Refrain from becoming overly involved in adult conversations, even when all others, or many others, including your leader, are. And I like to compare this to the golden rule. We all know the golden rule. We know we're supposed to try to live out the golden rule. How well do we do? Well, so-so. But it usually works out okay if I'm applying the golden rule as much as I can on my good days, and you apply the golden rule on your good days, then we even out. When does it break down? When I say, well, she was rude to me, so I'm going to be rude to her. And then it's gone. A basic about fostering relationships is simply to be ready for the day beforehand. Not cutting materials, not waving someone to come stand in your doorway while you go get one more thing, but being ready for the day so you can devote yourself to the family and the children as they arrive. It's the shift made in the conversation so that the focus is on the child's work, and that provides a platform for the child to talk about her work, and talking is how we get to know the child. So it's another way to build that relationship. And once she got that spark inside of them, once they realized, oh, she cares about us, she wants to work with us, then they started responding to her as an authority figure. So that relationship is your foundation that helps prevent conflict. So you're trying to start that relationship early in the year before you have trouble, right? So that you don't start your relationship by fussing. No, don't do that. You start it before, and then you communicate to the child that beyond the trouble we have, even though I'm going to reprimand you and try to pull you back into line, I'm still having a relationship with you. I'm not going to act angry at you throughout the day. So we don't drag God into children's behavior. We want to not punish unless we know they know that they're being belligerent. The genius behind effective teaching is assessing a problem situation and then considering the proper next steps of how to reroute it. Even though the child's behavior is difficult, that he still needs love and acceptance as a child of God, as a creation of God, regardless of his misbehavior. Isn't that how God treats us? He loves us and he helps us work on our behavior. He loves us and he has expectations of us. They go together. But even if you never get a story back 3 years later, your work is not in vain. You have that Bible verse there, let nothing move you. Always give yourself fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that what? Your labor's not in vain. Don't let ideas and idealism and books and talks make you feel insufficient. Work with children is hard and it's tiring, and none of us gets it right every day. Children are always learning, whether planned or incidental. They're learning to love, they're learning to talk about people. They're learning that teachers are good friends, and they're learning that they're not. So what are you teaching? Generally speaking, work with children just simply isn't about us, about the sale we went to or what so-and-so heard. We have to behave biblically to be the teacher that Sally and parents and children and the Lord and we want to be. Never forget that you're caring for God's highest creation.